Welcome to my Schnitzel Sunday series. This is part 1 and I'm excited to get started. So this dish is pretty close to my heart because back when in our 20s, when we used to live in Germany, every time we got takeout, this is what we would get. We are calling it Käseschnitzel, so cheese schnitzel. And the worst part is I wasn't able to recreate it for the longest time, but I finally perfected it. We will use half an onion. This is a large onion, so it's a little bit less than half, but this is fine. We dice it. Now I'm going to use 2 cloves of garlic. Just going to slice it. I'm not going to overthink it. Personally, I don't mind when there's larger pieces of garlic. How about you? Let me know in the comments. Rather want it extra fine, or does it depend on the dish? I mean, for us it usually is. It depends on the dish. But it's dinner time and I just don't want to overthink it. And as I was just saying, we're not going to overthink it. Usually I'm trying to have the onion go first and then the garlic, because the garlic doesn't need as long, but all in one, it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to start preheating my oven. I will set it to 400 Fahrenheit. And since I made my schnitzel already a few days ago, I'm just going to preheat those before I add the sauce. My schnitzel video is linked in the top right and in the description down below. Next, get your blue cheese out. I'm using this one from Aldi. In Germany, I used to use the Gorgonzola, and it really depends on which one you like more. If you like the creamy more or the rich flavor one. The story is we used to live near the Georg-Schumann-Straße in Leipzig, and there was this takeout restaurant. They had everything, so usually that is not a sign for a good restaurant, but we really enjoyed it. So if you don't know your blue cheese and how strong it is, I would recommend always starting with a little bit less than you might think you need, because sometimes it can be really overwhelming. So we're going to set this aside and we're going to start with these pieces here. And I'm going to taste it as we start. We're going to start with some oil. I'm using avocado oil, not much. You just really need like half a tablespoon approximately. Get that started at a medium-high heat. Okay, now I'm going to add my onion and garlic mixture. Now that it started smelling good, I'm going to add some salt. Remember, you can always add more, and the blue cheese is usually pretty salty, so don't oversalt it yet. And some pepper. And I would say it has been about 2 minutes. Now I'm starting to add 1 cup of low sodium chicken broth. You could use vegetable broth. And then usually if our kiddo doesn't eat with us, I also like white wine. You could use half a cup of white wine and then the rest half a cup of a broth. We're just going to add that. And I'm going to add my blue cheese that I set aside to use. We'll bring that to a boil. We want all of that blue cheese to melt. I can already start smelling it. It smells so good. We love blue cheese. Now I'm going to reduce the temperature to medium heat. With anything blue cheese, I like nutmeg. Not too much. Here we go. Now that it's nice and melted, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup heavy cream. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of mozzarella. Now that we're at temperature, we're going to add our schnitzel. You want to keep stirring. If you're enjoying this content so far, please give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that others should see it too, and it really helps my channel. I think now is a good time to do the first taste test. I do think a little bit more blue cheese would be good. I'm going to reduce the temperature a little further. When working with heavy cream, you don't want it to be separating, which would happen if you boil it too hot. So it's at this point almost on a low setting. This looks good, everything is melted, and I'm going to turn that off. The schnitzel had like about 5 minutes in the oven, so we're taking it out for a moment. I'm going to ladle over our sauce. Be your own judge on how much sauce you want, but this looks good to me. And remove this back here. And back in the oven it goes. This looks amazing. We don't want to lose any of that, so we will get our ladle and get that all on the plate. So we are going for a guilty pleasure, and today I'm just going to serve it with fries. However, you could also serve it with pasta. Going to add some parsley, lemon, and here's the dish. Please comment down below how you enjoyed this first episode of Schnitzel Sundays, and I hope to see you next Saturday. Thank you for watching. Fun fact, in Europe, if you order a macchiato and you're from the US and you only know what the macchiato is here, you probably will get disappointed because you will probably get a latte macchiato, which I made myself here. A latte macchiato doesn't have any sweetness or any of that. It really is just milk foam and then an espresso on top. I'm enjoying it very much.